Everything you know about the first civilization is wrong. Before Uruk, before Eridu, another people built, ruled, and vanished. The Sumerians called them the pre-diluvian kings. We call them the forgotten. The first cities. Long before the first ziggurat, cities already rose from the Anatolian plain. They left no written records, only stone, bone, and mystery. But their fingerprints are everywhere. Archaeologists have known for decades. The Sumerians inherited, not invented. Take Göbekli Tepe, built 6,000 years before Sumer. It had astronomy, ritual, and organization, the hallmarks of civilization. No farms, no kings. Yet they moved 20-ton stones, and they weren't alone. Tel Caramel in Syria, the oldest known tower, fortifications, defensive walls, 1,000 years before Jericho. These people spread south, carrying their knowledge. Compare a Sumerian ziggurat with this earlier structure. Identical design. The Sumerians didn't invent the Temple Mound. They copied it. The Ubaid people, the Sumerians' immediate predecessors, they worshipped serpent-like gods and built the first irrigation canals. Without the Ubaid, Sumerian cities would have been impossible. And then, silence. The Ubaid vanished around 4000 BCE. Flood, drought, invasion, no one knows. The Sumerians themselves admitted it. They wrote of a time before the flood, when other kings ruled. 8 kings, 5 cities, 240,000 years, impossible but symbolic. Even Eridu, their holiest city, was built atop an older settlement. 18 layers of people before the first Sumerian temple. The deeper you dig, the less Sumerian it becomes. And then, a complete break. A different people. The Halaf. They built no cities, but their art was exquisite. From the Mediterranean to the Zagros Mountains, a cultural network. Then they too disappeared, replaced by the Ubaid. But who were they? Where did they come from? The answer lies between the Tigris and Euphrates. Before Sumer, small villages dotted the riverbanks. People fished from reed boats, wove baskets, and buried their dead with shell beads. They had no kings, no armies, but they had something else: cooperation. They built the first irrigation canals. Together. They traded obsidian from Anatolia, copper from the mountains, shells from the Persian Gulf. Their stamp seals, used to mark goods, spread across the region. This was not a single empire, it was a shared culture. They even built the first temples. Small, humble, but unmistakably sacred. And then around 3800 BCE, the world changed. A sudden climate shift. The rains failed, the rivers shrank, fields turned to salt, wells went dry. One by one, the villages emptied. We find mass burials, not from war, but from famine. A people who had thrived for 2,000 years, vanished. But they did not disappear without a trace. Their knowledge remained in the soil. Their canals, still visible from the air. Their temple plans, copied stone by stone. When the Sumerians arrived, they didn't invent civilization. They moved into abandoned cities and called them their own. At Eridu, the Sumerians built their first temple directly on top of a pre-Sumerian one. At Uruk, the massive walls follow older foundation lines. The Sumerian language itself contains words that are not Sumerian, loan words from a forgotten tongue. And the Sumerian king list? It begins with kings who reigned before the flood. They were telling us the truth. So who were these forgotten people? We have no name for them. They left no writing, but their fingerprints are everywhere. In our cities, our temples, our irrigation systems. They were not primitive. They were not barbarians. They were the first architects, the first engineers, the first to tame the rivers. And then climate change erased them. The Sumerians are remembered because they wrote, but writing came late. For thousands of years before, people built, traded, worshipped, and died. We call them prehistoric. But that word is an insult. They had history. They just didn't record it on clay. They recorded it in stone, in bone, in the very layout of the cities we live in today. Every ziggurat you see, Sumerian? Yes, but the idea is older. Every irrigation canal, Sumerian? No. The Ubaid dug the first ones. Every temple priest, Sumerian? The fish cloak ritual comes from the Ubaid. Civilization is not a single invention. It is a relay race. The forgotten people passed the torch. The Sumerians ran with it. Today, you can still visit their abandoned tells. Mounds rising from the desert, unexcavated, unnamed, underneath the sand, entire cities sleep. We have dug less than 5% of Mesopotamia. The forgotten civilization is still waiting. Why did they collapse so completely? Climate is part of the answer, but not all. We find no signs of war, no invasion, no plague. It is as if they simply decided to leave, or maybe they didn't leave. Maybe they became the Sumerians. Maybe the Sumerians were not newcomers. Maybe they were the survivors. Some archaeologists now believe there was no Sumerian migration. The Sumerians were the Ubaid, but changed by centuries of crisis. Language changed, religion changed, but the bones tell a different story. The people of Uruk are biologically identical to the people of Ubaid. They were the same population, just reborn. So when we praise Sumer for inventing writing, the wheel, the city, we are praising the wrong people. The seeds were planted 6,000 years earlier. The forgotten ones built the foundation. The Sumerians built the house. But the foundation is what holds everything up. And here is the uncomfortable truth. If climate change destroyed a civilization that advanced without fossil fuels, what will it do to us? They had no warning. We have no excuse. The forgotten people are not just history. They are a mirror. One mystery remains. Deep beneath the oldest levels of Eridu, archaeologists found a layer of clean sand. No artifacts, no bones, no ash, just sand. As if someone swept the earth clean. Below that sand, older walls, a different alignment, a different people. Who built them? We may never know. The Sumerians were not the first. They were the heirs. And the ones before them, they have no name, no monuments, no written records, only silence. But silence is not emptiness. It is a question waiting to be asked. You just asked it.